What's up, everyone? We're here for another episode of the Tom Hayden Show. I am so excited for this one. Again, I think I say that every episode, but this guest is a special guest. I can't wait to talk to him and introduce him to everyone listening. If you don't already know him, you should. His name is Koji. He's a former CPDL champion. He's a great person and a fun streamer to watch, man. Like a really fun streamer to like hang out in his chat room and just shiny hunt or whatever he's up to that day. But Koji, introduce yourself and tell us how you got your way into this Pokemon world that I met you in.
Hey, what's up, Tom? Thanks for having me on. First off, it's a pleasure to be on. Well, I've told you this privately, but like you're a beautiful soul.
I appreciate that.
I really love getting to know you and stuff. I think you're an awesome person outside of Pokemon. So actually, I played Pokemon Platinum competitively.
Oh wow!
Singles. Yeah, I still have my game like right here, like by my stream, and I still have all my 3DS games actually, and I still have I think it's called a Versus recorder on that game, and I still have my last competitive match recorders on my 3DS or my DSi. So I watch it from time to time. I was very bad.
Wait, tell me
But
about the team you made. What was that like?
it was rain. It was rain. I can't remember exactly. I lost. So my best friend Brentley got me into Pokemon. I didn't have like the PlayStation of the time. I would say middle class, but my parents did what we could. So, but I did have the DS and DSi. So I'd go to my buddy Brentley's house. He had an Xbox 360, so we thought it was the coolest thing ever. Right before
It
Modern
was.
Warfare 2 came out, so it's like before peak online. And we found this guy called Killer Nacho. I don't know if he still makes videos, but it was like kind of sad to say this, but it's when YouTube was first popping off. Like YouTube wasn't even that big, and he did battles. He did Wi-Fi battles, and we're like, dude, what?
This is awesome.
Like, there's a whole world of Pokemon that we don't even know about. And he used to lead Sentret all the time, a substitute Sentret, and he would baton pass it to a substitute Breloom with Focus Punch called Sub Punch Strat, and I just got into Pokemon from there. We would battle each other, and it would take us like a week in real life to make our teams because back then it was just impossible. It was so hard. It was so hard, bro. I got my first legit shiny in Pokemon Platinum because I grinded so many Pokemon trying
Encounters.
to raise my EVs.
What was the Pokemon?
Octillery.
That's one of
My
my
first.
favorite. Wait, I have the plush somewhere. I don't know where I put
Yeah,
the plush.
you send your profile picture on
Yeah.
when you're battling. Yeah, I got a shiny Octillery. I was fishing. I want to say one of the fish gave a certain EV I needed, and I guess I got a shiny Octillery. So my first ever shiny on accident.
That's
I was
awesome.
EV training. Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh my god! And like the fact you remember it like off the top of your head, you're like, yeah, no, that was
Oh
one.
yeah.
That's a good
I'll
shiny
never forget
too.
it.
That gold one.
I was, hmm?
That
Yeah,
gold
gold.
color.
It was
Yeah.
beautiful. I thought it was a glitch. I was 09, it's 08, 09 area. I thought it was a glitch in the game. I did. Captured it. Didn't know. Like I said, we were just getting into it. I mean, we were kids. But yeah, that's how I got into competitive Pokemon. And then I played through Black and White, and I thought that the games weren't that great. They were trying to graphically do a little bit more than the DS could handle, but the story was amazing. And weather wars were crazy back then with Excadrill. I remember that being a huge thing. But I was so into Yu-Gi-Oh regionals that I stopped playing the competitive side and focused on my Yu-Gi-Oh career and was pretty successful in that. Then moved on to Overwatch, Call of Duty competitive on teams and stuff. Played at DreamHack and stuff like that. And now I'm back in Pokemon.
And I know you've told me a little bit about your Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, but would you mind telling everyone listening, because I think it's very fascinating.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So this same friend Brentley,
Shout out Brentley.
Brentley, yeah, his name's Brentley. He's my best friend. I have a couple. Behani's, I consider him my best friend.
Aw.
I could call on you. Like what I consider a best friend is somebody you call at 4 a.m. and that like if they're up, they're gonna answer.
I'll
whatever.
answer
I wouldn't
5:45
doubt
when
you.
my alarm goes off.
Proto's
I'll sleep
another one.
too.
But in that list of best friends, so this will go back a little bit. Just a side story.
Yes,
Me
please.
and Brentley were so we're best friends. It's a tragedy that I haven't told anybody about too much. But long story short, I had this friend. I kind of got bullied like in the 4th grade. This guy stood up for me. His name was Daniel, because I was a bit of a nerd. I played Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff. Blah blah blah. Well, he stood up for me, and Brentley was new to town. Um, well, Brentley and this guy were hanging out after school, and this was fifth grade now. And a guy named, I won't say his name actually, but he came over and he shot Daniel, was the guy that you know was the guy that stood up for me. That he got shot in the eye with a pellet gun, and it's like right here in the soft spot, and it lodged up towards his brain. He ended up passing away in the fifth grade, and that was like my friend, my one friend, because I was a bit nerdy, whatever. And so me and Brantley got tight, and from we got so tight that we would play Yu-Gi-Oh over the phone, and the amount of trust that takes, because you can cheat, you can do whatever. Um, I'd ride my bike. I think he lived like 3 miles away. We'd ride our bikes to each other's house. Like, I guess that tragedy kind of
It brought you guys
made us,
together. The shared trauma.
yeah. Well, I didn't know him. He didn't know me. And then after that, it was like, you know, stuff got real in the fifth grade. It's kind of hard to. It's changed me forever.
Yeah, that's something like that.
I have attachment issues, stuff like that. I'll kind of do my own path, but it also made me driven. So, because life's short.
Yeah.
But past that, we got into Yu-Gi-Oh together. Well, my mom wouldn't let me spend the night at Brownlee's house, but there was this Yu-Gi-Oh tournament on Tuesdays and Thursdays at Kit Kringle, and it was at 7 p.m. I begged and begged and begged to go, and she's like, "Okay, you can go, but you can spend the night since it's so late." So this was my gateway to spend the night. Brantley hang out with my friend. Well, we ended up winning some of the doubles tournaments up there after, I don't know, 6 months of going. Got hooked on it. He moved away to, like, 5-10 minutes down the road, nothing, like, different school district. We were young back then, like middle school area, and you know how it is. You don't have a car and stuff, so you can't really connect. Like, so I continued the Yu-Gi-Oh path. Well, I met more friends into Yu-Gi-Oh, and they were into video games, kind of like I was. And I don't know, I've just always had this fire, like, in my belly to compete. So they took me to. I went to locals like every week, at the same Kit Kringle, and they moved and got a bigger shop, so it was amazing. Then
nice.
the college era comes, where I get my own car and stuff like that. My buddy Raymond Chi,
Shout out Raymond.
he's staying at UNCC Charlotte, and the way my work schedule worked is I'd have 2 weekends off, but one of those weekends I'd get 6 days in a row off. So I'd go stay in UNCC Charlotte, and I'd started playing in the big tournaments, big boy tournaments.
Okay.
Well, I went from the locals of being 20 to 25 people, maybe 15, to 100 to 150 person locals, not even regionals. Charlotte was just such a bigger area. Prize pool was better.
It was
cheaper.
a hub.
It cost that much, but the prizes were better. So I'm like, hold on, I'm on to something here. And went to my first regional, which functions much like VGC regional. It was, at the time, just like VGC is now. It wasn't as big, and it was like 7 or 8 rounds regional. Very long day. I did poorly. I think I did 4-3 or something like that. And then, but I started the day off, I think, like 0-2, and then just kind of one of those. I wasn't happy with my performance. I think a couple of my wins were people didn't show up at late rounds, stuff like that. So, but I got hooked. Went on to compete. I topped in Virginia. I forget the year. Placed 7th place at Roanoke. My last event that everybody said retirement event was 2017 or 18 in Atlanta for Zoo. So traveling to me is not foreign for tournaments.
Yeah.
It was a 2-day event, like 9 rounds the first round, over 1,000 people. And I went X1 and made day 2 with Zoo.
You went X1 in a 1,000-person tournament in 9 rounds of Swiss.
Yeah, I went 8-1. I lost to Paul Empty Jar Cooper. Look him up on YouTube. I lost to him. He's like the Cybertron or the Joe UX9 of, like,
Yu-Gi-Oh back in the day.
He's one of,
oh wow.
Tyree Tinsley was another one, big name. I beat him in Charlotte at top tables, in front of all my friends. So I kind of got hooked on that feeling. Like, people started respecting me at locals, asking for my advice. And then there was this meta that came around that was the Dragon Roller meta with spellbooks, and they were called Tier 0 decks. Tier 0 means that's all you could play. They were so overpowered, that's it. Well, I was running gadgets in that meta, and I had like a 70% win rate on their version of Showdown. And I just adapted, and people were like, like basically I was just skill diffing people, and the matchups I'd lose was because the deck was strong and the skill of the player was big enough.
Yeah.
Took that to a regional in Charlotte and went X2 with it and got my first top in a meta where it was tier 0. And you can look the metas up, and you'll see it as tier 0. Like nothing else was really played. But I ended up getting my first, like, that was my first invite to nationals.
Okay.
I went and competed at nationals in Chicago in 2013. Still got my deck sleeves behind me on the table back here with Flay Coco. And then I went and competed the following year. That's when I got 7th place in Roanoke, got my invite and my prize money and all that. And I went to Detroit the following year, played in nationals 2 years in a row. Made day 2 in both events. Also, like a 1,500 person tournament, I think. I went X2 both tournaments, and then lost on the bubble both days, day 2s. Always had a nervous kind of a guts of steel is what my friends would tell me, but it's something about when I got to that top 32, like I couldn't break it. I don't know what it was, because top 64 was day 2 was like 132 people, but top 64 was the highest I ever made it. But out of 1,500, I mean,
that's crazy. That's so
good. You can look at it one or two ways.
Yeah, and oh my god, I can't wait to see how you do in Pokemon now. And
I'm hoping it transfers.
Dude, that type of experience is absolutely going to help you at the live regional. So this is your first Pokemon regional, Orlando, coming up. Actually, yes. Orlando's going to be in the past by the time it comes out. I think I'm going to release this on Monday, the 13th of February, because I got 4 episodes backlogged. So this will be coming out after Orlando.
So this will be after Orlando. But yes, I am going to Orlando and Knoxville, and I plan to go to every one I can.
And I want to hear, like, what are your thoughts right now before having that experience from Yu-Gi-Oh! And so it's a 750 person tournament right now. That's going to be the biggest VGC one. It's probably going to be 10 rounds of Swiss again. No day 2. And what are your thoughts going into your first Pokemon regional? With that experience, you have a unique perspective, I feel like.
2 things. One, experience. I have experience. I would be lying to you if I said the nerves won't happen in round 1. They always do.
Yeah.
But once I click that first button in round 1, like, I'm locked in. I'm not afraid. I won't be nervous. And I'm not trying to be arrogant right now. I've probably done over 100 tournaments in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, easily.
Yeah.
Charlotte, Roanoke, Wilson, North Carolina, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Orlando, Florida, downtown on Navy Pier in Chicago, downtown Detroit, California, Sacramento, California, Toronto, Canada, like Atlanta, Georgia 3 times, Roanoke a couple times, Tennessee, Ohio, Indiana. The list goes on. I've played around the United States a lot, so the traveling, I'm not going to be like super excited to oh my god, I haven't seen Orlando before. I'm going to be like, hey, back in town. I've been to Orlando probably 20 times, and 10 of that's competing, like, not even joking. But whether it be for Call of Duty, Overwatch, or like just vacation, I wouldn't say 20 times. I'd say like 10 times total, but probably like 7 or 8 times for competition. This will be like my 8th time probably. So it's kind of like, welcome back. Let's get to business. I will be excited to see you guys though. Like, I look forward.
I can't wait to give you a big old hug when I meet you.
Dude, I'm so ready to see you guys, man. I want pictures, big old hug, all that stuff, man. It's gonna be great. Wanted to meet you for a long time.
Dude, that's what's so cool about these internet friends we make.
It is. It's the beauty of this game.
The communities. And so have you found any other communities like Pokemon in Overwatch, in Yu-Gi-Oh, in Call of Duty?
Yu-Gi-Oh is similar. They're all, I'd say they're all unique.
Yeah.
I think some more toxic than other. I think the Pokemon community can be toxic.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's a little more welcoming than some. It's definitely smaller than.
It feels smaller.
I would say it's like the Yu-Gi-Oh scale. Like, Yu-Gi-Oh is kind of smaller. I think the Call of Duty and Overwatch. I'm sitting there I have Snapchats of me and XQC, like, where I talk to him, and I wasn't ever pro or anything like that, but I'm saying, like, meeting him. I flew out to Cali to watch Overwatch League season 1.
I want to hear more about that too after.
Yeah, I met Taimo and Kafri and Effect, Sinatra for he's big in Valorant now. So it's like, this atmosphere is just all me. But it's, as far as the practice and stuff goes, it's still hard.
Yeah.
VGC is so hard right now.
It's like chess. It's like, dude, there's no other strategy game I've ever like seen like it. But
Yes.
yeah. Sorry to interrupt. I'm very curious
Oh,
about Overwatch now. So how?
Overwatch.
Yeah, can you tell me about your Overwatch competitive career and everything like that?
Yeah. So this PC that well, actually not this exact PC that I'm sitting on. This is my third one, but the reason I'm on PC is because of Overwatch.
Okay.
Overwatch came out in 2016. I was super into Call of Duty. This is when I dropped Pokemon. I would buy every one. I'd buy every single Pokemon game and then play the story and drop them. After Gen 5, the big deal was like Yu-Gi-Oh regionals. We do VGC, or we would do singles, not VGC. We
Okay.
would do singles, and in between rounds, or we play Goat, which is old Yu-Gi-Oh. So I knew about like Excadrill and stuff being really good, and Landorus and stuff. But I didn't, I wasn't like into it. So 2016 rolls around. Call of Duty is boots off the ground. It's bad. It's not feeling good. And I was super into Call of Duty. I played it every single day. Grinded it. Was amazing at it. Just loved it. And then wanted to find a different game. Kind of got into my first real big long term relationship. And then Overwatch came around, and I played it on the PS4, and fell in love with it. I was like, man, what a crazy game. Um, just an amazing game. The cartoon style. It was so inclusive. Had all kinds of regions involved in it, and like just you could use abilities, and you didn't have to have aim. Uh, Reinhardt and Winston, like it felt like everyone was included. Somebody like if you didn't have aim, you could still play. If you had insane aim, you could abuse it and play. If you wanted to snipe, you could snipe. If you wanted to AR, you could do that. It was just amazing. So my buddies are over at my apartment playing it with them. I cooked them some hibachi, and they're like, "Dude, how do you play this shit on? How do you play this on PS4?" I'm like, "What do you mean?"
Yeah, like
You know?
what?
And he's like, "Come to my house. Come to my house." So I came over whenever next week or something. Played it on the PC. Never looked back. We built one. We ordered it. It was right near tax time. I remember building my first PC. That leads into me streaming. I streamed to zero viewers for like 2 years, 2017 to like 2019, like maybe one or two viewers, like myself and the random person that would come in. But I just stuck with it, and I played Overwatch every day. Like I got off work at 7 a.m. I would stream like 8 a.m. or 8:30 a.m. till 11 a.m. Then go to bed every single freaking day, and that's where the love of streaming comes from. And then I competed in Overwatch and joined the Diamond team, and they taught me things early in the game. I started maining Winston because I didn't have aim. I was not used to, mouse and keyboard at the time,
Yeah.
and I was used to controller. So they gave me a character that didn't aim. Dive meta was huge, and then I climbed the ranks. I ended up placing overall. I think I got 3680 or something like that, which is master out of 4,000 is grandmaster, which that's the peak, and then top 500. I never made it to grandmaster, but I made it to master in that game, and
That's impressive.
I appreciate it. Yeah, a lot of grinding in that too. I was um, to kind of tie this back into Pokemon because I know this is a Pokemon vibe, but
Well, this is
I have
me
tennis
talking to
elbow.
interesting person.
Oh, okay. Well, I love that. I love that. I
Yeah.
have tennis elbow in this elbow, and it's because I played so much Winston and like clicking on the keyboard and stuff. Like I'd play like some sessions like 8 to 10 hours straight, and
It gave you
I would have
tennis
to
elbow.
ice my elbow while I was sleeping. It would throb, and I had to lay off, and it still bothers me to this day. Like it's crazy. That came from Overwatch.
Like,
That's where I get kind of. I don't know if I'm OCD or like just when I'm into something, I like obsess, focus, and that's it. I'm in it. Like it's crazy.
dude, it's impressive to see, because again, let's tie this back to CPDL now. But yeah, no, this podcast is really just me talking to people I find interesting. Like I
Well, I
know,
like that.
yeah,
I really do.
because I even if someone doesn't play Pokemon, I'm gonna have non-Pokemon guests on too. But the
Okay.
early episodes, I was like, let me just bring my Pokemon people on because I find all of you so interesting and want to hear about the Yu-Gi-Oh. Like me and United were talking about Magic the Gathering. I talked to
Oh,
Carney a
okay.
bit about Magic. I talked to like The Ashby family was super Pokemon one, and like that one was a fun one. T-Mosk was like Bridgeport Games. Beanie, his was all about Pokemon too, because like it. But I've been having a blast. Like we got one Joey Mach Punch coming out on Monday the 23rd. So that was 4 Mondays ago because I've been pre-recording a bunch of them. I'm recording another one with the guy that runs the Lily of the Valley server tomorrow too.
Ooh.
So I'm super excited. Shout out Zardachar. He's the cool ass dude too.
That's
and
cool.
Yeah,
I didn't know. I've watched them, and I know they go off topic, but I didn't know if I didn't know the goal. But that's sick. Like that's just people you find interesting. Like that's a really good idea. Really sick idea.
Because it's like I could talk to if I don't find someone interesting, I don't want to talk to them for an hour.
Right? That's a long hour, bro.
Like I like everyone that's gonna come on, or else I wouldn't be doing it. It's really an excuse to hang out for an hour.
Yeah. So what's new? We have 59 minutes. That would suck, bro.
Dude, exactly. So it's like if I don't find someone interesting, I wouldn't invite them on, and I gotta invite everyone on from like that. I want to get people on. I definitely want to get more people on and make time to record this. But you're talking about how you get obsessed and how you like put so much work in is something I saw in the CPDL from the first season to your second season. It was absolutely insane. I want to let you intro that and talk about it because it was a really cool journey to see from a third party perspective, and I was so impressed. I want to hear you talk about it.
It's one of my favorite accomplishments. So hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
So not only is this shirt like the crit happens.
Crit happens.
So I made this shirt, the crit happens through that season, but we'll start from the beginning.
Okay.
I was streaming on Twitch and I was shiny hunting Pokemon because my stream is kind of I don't have an identity. I love VGC.
Your stream is fun.
Streaming VGC.
Whatever you're doing.
Right now, it's kind of hard to stream VGC because I'm playing so much Showdown, and it's like I don't have a team in the game, and I don't want to use rentals. But I may. I don't know. So it's like my stream's kind of at a loss of identity right now. I'm shiny hunting. I'm recording. I'm editing that. And then I come in and I'm like, damn, I want to play VGC this weekend. I really want to get on this ladder, get Master Ball. I peaked rank 22 on the ladder. I beat Cybertron on the ladder. Some of my merits, and then Champions Path Draft League stuff. But I'm kind of rather unknown VGC player. I hope to change that. Two of my missions this year are to perform well at regionals and kind of get known, and then I want to get more people into VGC, man, with my channel. I think that that's like one of the goals I set. So I'm thinking about doing guides. Maybe you're like, hey, Orlando just happened. Here's the teams that did good. Here's why. Hey, here's Goldingo. No, he's not just a piece of string cheese. This is why he's good. In case somebody doesn't know. This is why he's good. This is what goes good with him. This is what he's bad against. And just do that for every Pokemon. Hell, there's so many Pokemon. I'd have content for years. So I'm going to try to do that, and I'm getting on that. Got some edited videos ready for that. But anyway.
Can I interrupt quick before you start?
What? No, you're good. You're good.
Jamie Boyd did that for the beginning, and an updated one of those would be so useful for someone like me who watched his series in my car while driving, and just having a 5 to 15 minute video on every Pokemon and what they do well is something I would consume the fuck out of, Koji. That is a great series idea, and an updated one is needed very much, in my opinion. So hearing you say that gets me so excited.
Yeah, I've got plans. I don't know. I was planning on starting with a Goldingo was one. I was going to pick the top usage Pokemon, but now the series shifted on me so fast, and I do have videos in the back. Like Death Chalk's edited those, and I've cut them down. I'm doing the cuts and stuff, and the streaming and the content. So, but yeah, that's the thought. I was like, man, I want more people to be in VGC, man. I think VGC has a chance to be a real esport. I do. I think it's that good of a game.
I wish it would get more popular. I think we're really treated like the redheaded stepchild of Pokemon.
We're headed that way, bro.
Yeah.
Whether you realize it or not, Gen 8 did a lot more than we appreciated for this game. And I think Gen 9 has fumbled the bag a little bit. Yeah. Let's not talk about the Copperajah in the room with all the issues with that game. But I mean, I'm just saying they fumbled the bag, but competitively, it is still, I think, one of the best times to get into Pokemon. I think it will just get better.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I completely agree. And now let's get into the CPDL. I'm sorry to
All right,
interrupt.
you're fine. This is your podcast, and we'll
I'm
talk
so
about
bad.
whatever, bro.
I'm so bad at interrupting. I gotta get better at that.
No, I am too, bro. I'm the world's worst. So I'm streaming on, picture it vivid, streaming Overwatch. I'm having a bad day, so I move over to shiny hunting, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm being boring essentially. Let me do VGC. Haven't done it in a long time. Let me do VGC. Get on VGC, and back then I was anti-meta, blah blah blah. Don't want to play the meta. Don't want to play the meta. And actually, Renya's son helped break me out of that, and I really
Okay.
appreciate that team for that.
Shout out Rinya.
Shout out Renya. So I'm on the ladder, and I'm playing an all Johto team, and let me tell you, it worked. I had Umbreon, Slowking, Steelix, Weakness Policy, EV'd to underspeed my Slowking and Trick Room so I could bulldoze and proc the policy. Had Sturdy so I could always live a hit and usually proc the policy in that case, and I wouldn't have to proc my own policy and set Trick Room. And then it had Raikou, um, and a few more mons, I think Scizor and something else. It worked. It actually worked.
it actually worked.
Yeah, I made it to 1,500 or 1,200 with that team.
Okay.
And Bihani saw me, and I got rated by Mastermark, and I had like 140 some odd viewers. They're like, "What are you doing?" Oh, it's Polytoad Kingdra. That was the last two. I was running Rain. You know I love Rain.
I know
Anyway,
you love Rain.
I have my notes around here somewhere. I'm gonna find that later. I want to show you how obsessive I am. This will go into the CPDL stuff about that exact team that I'm telling you about right now. I have you'll see it.
Yes.
So Bihani jumps in my chat, which you know. Shout out Bihani, runs the Champions Path Draft League. He's like, "Hey man, don't know you, don't want to get banned in your channel. Just want to know if you want to compete in the league. You know, we're gonna start soon. DM me if you're interested." So me and Proto had kind of been talking about, yeah, this kind of competitive Pokemon stuff's kind of fun in Gen 8. Like, it's not like the previous ones. It's kind of easier to get into. It's not so grindy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got candies now. Like, I can level my stuff up. They've got mints. I mean, no, I'm serious, dude. It was this is not bad. Like, I could use a rental team if I want to. Like, this is the way, right? So I get into the Champions Path Draft League, and I played Bihani week 1. I'm messaging him on Discord. I'm arrogant. Me and Proto used to play Showdown a lot, and he was kind of my coach, as we called it. He did my prep, and I got waxed. I didn't get a single kill. I got 8-0'd by Bihani.
Bihani's really good.
Pokemon. One of the most embarrassing. Like, I didn't even know Torkoal got body press, and I had to T-Tar, and I got just embarrassed. No other way. So he reaches out to me. I guess he felt so damn bad or something. I don't know. He was like, "Hey, I'll help you." You know.
Yeah.
This, that, and the other. And I was kind of headstrong. I'm like, I'll be all right, man. I'll learn from it.
Yeah.
Well, come out week 2 and I got to win 1-1. I'm thinking, okay, you know, I can do this. Like, I can do this. And that was it. I struggled the rest of the season. Wasted my trades in week 2, which was a huge learn.
Yeah.
Or week 1, maybe even. No trades. Hated the team. Looking back at it now, I think I could have made that team function. I think it was a lot of player issue, because I think looking back at that team, I had a pretty decent team. Actually.
You had the tools,
but
yeah,
I had the tools. I just wasn't executing. But that's neither here nor there. Play. I even played you. I remember feeling terrible. I messaged you on Discord, just so discouraged when we were playing, and I squeaked by with a win on that. You brought a really cool swamp team. I thought that was very fun, and I was able to get just a few wins that season. Almost like, you know, damn, this is embarrassing. I don't even want to come back to this. Like, you know what I mean? People, you know.
I'm glad you went the opposite way.
Me.
I'm glad you went the opposite way.
Yeah, I am too. So that was season 3.
Yeah, that was my second season.
Season 4. That was your second season? You were part of what, season 2?
Yeah, United. I met United while he was participating in season 1. And he's like, "Have you ever heard of a draft league?" And I said, "No." He's like, "Join Discord." And I said, "What's Discord?" And then
what's Discord? Yeah. My man now runs a podcast and all this stuff, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, that was 2.5 years ago, July 29th. We just looked it up. And now, literally like 2.5 years ago, I was like, "What's Discord?" And then I remember the first tournament I entered was the Gin Cup, and now he's our roommate at the Airbnb in Orlando.
Dude, Jin's so cool.
Gin
is cool. I had a thing. I don't really know Jin. He don't know me like that, but I used to watch him a lot. I love Trick Room. And I used to have a thing when I'd go live. I'd say, "Gonna win like Jin," you know? Like, he never saw it. He didn't know me, you know? But I had I've got some of the videos saved from cool clips and highlights happen. It's like
No,
gonna win like Jen or trying to win like Jen, something like that.
he's a good ass dude. And yeah, no, I remember coming into season 4, I was doing the recap show too. So we would always do the predictions and stuff, and I would be like, "What's it called?" I was like, "Koji's good. Koji's good. He's gonna get some wins." But I never
Every
saw what was coming.
week, I will never forget you. I will never forget Bihani. There's only so many times that you guys could say, "I promise he's good." It just means that don't. Your exact words were, "Don't sleep on him." He's 2-5. Don't sleep on him.
Don't sleep on him.
He's a good battler.
Yeah.
And the fact that you guys actually never gave up on me that whole season. Bihani and you both were just very, very, very diligent and just straight to the point. Like, well, just don't sleep on this guy. That kind of helped keep me around. So came back for season 4, and I thought, by the way, fun fact, just to touch on that topic, that's part of the reason this draft league is the best draft league. I don't care what anybody says. Your shows were part of the reason that I look forward to the show every freaking week. I'd be at work. I'd say, I'm going to play my break around this damn show. I want to see what people say about me. I want to watch my match review. I want to see what they say. Like,
that's
it was like ESPN. I was like addicted to your show. Like, I had to try to be there and watch it. So I thought that was awesome, by the way.
Thank
you did
you.
an excellent job.
I had so much fun doing those too. I want to bring them back if I have time.
It's a lot of time, bro.
A
lot of time. I don't blame you if you didn't.
And the notes and
you
stuff.
Put hours and hours. I did it 1 week. I think I covered 1 week, and that's how people got to know me in the league. And
you did cover 1 week, which I appreciate.
But we went. So season 4 happens. I'm talking to Bihani, and we play Overwatch, I think, or something together, and we just click. Something about us. I don't know what it was.
You guys are 2 peas in the pod.
We just clicked, man.
Yeah.
Like, out of anybody in the league, it was just weird. We clicked. I treated him like a human being. You know, he plays baseball and stuff. I didn't make that superficial, or I treated him like a human being and my friend. And I think he really respected that, and he returned the favor. And we have had many late night laughs, and his showdown glitched out one night. We were prepping, and it's I forget the Pokemon that it is, but it's a huge Pokemon in his background. He still can't fix it to this day. I think it's a Shuckle or something like that. I can't remember the exact Pokemon, but that makes me laugh, like stuff like that. He said, "I'm gonna, we'll get you right." So season 4 comes around, and I don't know what I'm gonna draft. God honest, and I'm at the beach, and I'm like, I could draft Rain. I could build around Rain, and Proto can vouch for me. I didn't know up to the draft. I had no draft plan. I had nothing. So the team that I built that ended up being amazing was about an hour before the draft. I sat down. I was like, okay, Selly still is a beast.
Yeah.
I like Rain. That synergizes. Let's build. Polytoad's overrated. I'm going to go Pelipper late round. I really need to grab my Kingdra Selly early. So that was the game plan. Worked like a charm.
Raichu, right?
So I ended up grabbing Raichu, Arcanine, because I knew Intimidate and Snarl and stuff was good. And I wrote down a whole list of things in this notes I have behind me of what you need on a team. And one was a form of cheese. And it had the justified strat that I wanted. Because, I didn't get Crocodile right off the bat.
You picked it up late, which was a huge part. Yeah.
I learned that last season that I needed to have something that was versatile, It could support or it could go cheese 1 week with Justified, and that's hard to prep against. So I wanted that versatility. So Arcanine was a big one. And, I got Clefable, huge redirection mon I needed. And I wanted to add more bulk to Selly because Selly was my main point of building that team. Anyway, I go out, I perform shaky the first 2 weeks. I go 2-0, and I'm very, very shaky. No, 3-0 maybe. And then I go play Alpaca, and I remember Bihani being so mad at me. I won that game, but I didn't. I got beat. And we had the prep. I had the game plan. I won game 1 with the game plan. I shifted off the game plan game 2, shifted off the game plan game 3. It literally worked game 1. And he got so mad at me. And instead of shutting down, I said, and you're pretty sure you probably remember this, I said, I'm going to 2-0 everybody that I play. And I got a little bit, people didn't like me. I got a little arrogant but that was fuel to that fire. I did a little intro for my stream. I do the Halo music. I was that into it.
You wouldn't be you without that fire. You wouldn't be you.
I agree.
Yeah.
Looking back at it, though, I do wish some things were a little different. But I was I wasn't losing that season, and I didn't. So it was just,
I know.
But I said I'm gonna 2-0. I said I'm gonna 2-0 everybody that I face, and the next week, the quote that I always say come out. Game one, I would beat them, and I say, "Show me how you beat me. Show me. I'm not gonna change off this game plan till you beat me. Show me how you beat me, and then we'll go game three, and I'll beat you because now I know what you're gonna try to do." And I 2-0'd everybody the rest of the season. After saying that, like I'm pretty sure openly in the Discord, I'm pretty sure it was like caused some arguments. It was bad. I really apologize for that. But we ended up going X1 all the way. I think it was 9-1, Wiz or 8-1, maybe. It was a lot of rounds that season. Got in the playoffs. I played Angelo. Mentally, I had a rough last week. We won't go into that, but just say much love to the battler that it's about. Love him to death. He's one of my inspirations. He's an amazing battler, and we had a little bit of a back and forth that season, and I wanted to play him. I wanted to beat him. I just wanted to prove it was like a divisional game for the division. We both had one loss, and now looking back on it, I respect the decision he made, and but it really killed my drive. I didn't prep for Angelo at all, and you know how hard I prepped all that week.
Yeah.
So Yanni can vouch. Yanni reached out the day before match. He's like, "Are you going to prep for Angelo at all?" Because I didn't reach out to him. I said, "Man, mentally, I'm in the dumps, dude. You know, people are saying all this in Discord. I've had to meet the Discord. I've had to this, that, and the other, and I just want out." He was like, "No, just go win it.
Just go win it."
Played Angelo in an insane set.
It was so much fun to watch.
Tootie, I think Tootie prepped him for some.
Shout out Tootie.
Yeah, shout out Tootie. Prepped him for some Gothitail cheese stuff that was very good though. Like it was a very good bring, and I just ended up taking my outs. Got a flinch on a rock slide and got one crit on a Darkest Lair off Crocodile. Won the match, and then I went on to face Anti.
Before we get into round two, I remember watching that Angelo versus you game, and I messaged B. Haney, and I said, "Look how many viewers are on each of their streams. You had like 20 plus. Angelo had 20 plus.
27, and he had 30 or something like that. That was like 50 players. Yeah.
I was like, look at what you created. Like, this is a community you brought together.
Exactly.
And I was like, holy shit, this CPDL is growing really fucking quicker than I thought. Angelo is a kick-ass player, really well-known, respected player, too. Shout out the Lily Pad boys. Him, Cortex, and Ryan Hebert. They're building a team together. And
shout out Angelo. I love Angelo. Shout out to you.
Love to you.
Much love for anybody that's been in this league before.
For real, man. And,
but
it was really cool to see that. Your stream was so much. I had both of them pulled up. I was taking notes, and I was having a blast watching them. Like, that was a crazy set.
So my thing was I wanted it to be entertaining.
Yeah.
And I fed off the ego a bit, if that makes sense, for winning and the intro and the hype. The
WWE.
Ready. I don't know if you remember the We Ready stuff. Like, I fed off that. You know what I'm saying?
And to get that crit to help secure the victory was huge with the Crocodile, which became your mascot, too.
Crocodile became my mascot over that. It was huge. It had started sweeping left and right. I ended up 8-0ing somebody the first week I got it. When I said publicly in Discord, I'm going to 2-0 everybody that I play. I ended up 8-0ing that week. Lunchbox. It was Lunchbox.
Shout out Lunchbox.
And you could feel the tension. Everybody's like, "Oh shit," kind of, and then you could feel the tension at the end of the season in that playoff game. That's why I was a little bit arrogant, and people wanted to see me lose. Kind of like Floyd Mayweather, kind of an attitude, like, "Come beat me." But
I was rooting for you doing the recap show, which probably pissed some people off too.
And that's the thing I remember in the recap show. I remember that was an issue. Somebody said some comments. I didn't even watch it. If this tells you anything, after my comments at the recap show, you can ask me, honey. Nobody knew. I didn't tell anybody this, but now it's in the past and stuff. But I didn't even watch the recap show because almost everybody was going against me, or he's going to get waxed, or he doesn't deserve to be here. I remember that comment coming out, and it was just one of those things where it's like, I got so discouraged, I didn't even prep for it, and I won. So then B. Honey goes, "Well, you didn't prep and you won, so maybe you should prep and just win the whole thing." So we prepped for Anti, and I had the worst matchup in the world, bro.
He has a good
We prepped 24 hours for that match in 1 week. 24 hours of prep.
It's a part-time job.
And part-time job in a week for this match. 'Cause I wanted to win it that bad. And you can call him up and ask him right now, and he'll vouch for that. 24 hours, and I had a win percentage of 10%.
In
No
practice, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no joke. If he brought the Berry Berry Clefable, my team could not clear it, no matter what I did. We tried everything. He did, and I won. I brought a trick room. I did find something last minute. It was funny, but I ran a heavy set bronze song with I forget the move, but it ended up working out. So, and I went hard trick room, and it was the only thing that was the 10% I was winning was when I managed to get the game in trick room.
Mhm.
So, the team I made was an hour before the match. The week one, Angelo, no prep. Week two, 24 hours of prep, no team, no comfort. I go in there and I win, and a 2-0 anti.
You two
Then-
owed him, yeah.
Yeah, I did. I went 2-1 against Angelo. It was my first game one loss of the season. I had never lost a game one that season, and it was my first 2-1 victory in I want to say 6 or 7 weeks or 5 weeks, something like that. So then I went on to anti, and I got the 2-0 close, but I did get the 2-0. He made a mistake on a dragon darts and took followed me, and then Clefable, and then I went to play Bihani in the semifinals. Freaking my prep partner played Bihani, got the 2-0 victory. Calced about 1,000 hours on this calc. AV Max Spadef Crocodile lived the water spout on the Blastoise, and I knew that was his only way to stop that lead while triggering my crit and anger point. I would live with like 13 to 15% every time after the water spout hit.
Shit.
When he told me after that game, when he hit me with that water spout and he had calced it out and he was like, "This is foolproof," and it was. He realized he had lost that set that match when not that set, but that match when he had seen that didn't kill, and still came down to the last Pokemon. He played his heart out, and
He's so
pretty
good
much
in
he
this
didn't
game.
prep. I remember we were prep partners. He didn't really prep much for me. I think a lot of that's credited to my victory, but nonetheless, I got the 2-0 there. It's the only time I beat him. And then I go play Jade, who's no slouch. I think it was his second or
He's so
third
good.
time in the finals, and I got the 2-0 on him. So that was that. I got these right here, these bad boys, MVP and the 12-1 record. I cherish them. I put them beside my Pokemon. They're behind the stream. So yeah, not many people probably would take it this serious, but I don't know. I take this shit serious. I did win
You
the
should.
MVP that season for our League 2 for the show that you did. So I got him right here, S4 CPDL champion and MVP in one season.
Dude,
And I got the Pokemon MVP, I believe, too, with Crocodile.
yeah. Dude, that
So it was just
entire run in the playoffs was so much fun to watch.
yeah, it was not fun to play. Promise you. it was stress. It was stress. Like everything that could go wrong could go wrong. No prep, and then once it's like an hour before Angela's match, I'm like, I'm into it now. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm into it for anti, and it's like 24 hours of prep, and then I remember prepping for Bihani, and it's like I forget his name. He was in the league, but dang. Anyway, he was very passionate about it. He's a good prep partner, but he was doing stuff. I was having to teach and prep, and it wasn't working. I was getting very frustrated because I'm used to prepping with Bihani, who I
Who's
consider
a
like
master? Yeah.
top of the top. You know what I'm saying? And when you go from top of the top prep to Sebastian was his name.
He's a
Yeah.
good dude. Seb's dad.
Great dude.
His
Love him.
name's actually
Seb's
Matt.
dad.
Yeah, and he's
He is
Sebastian's dad.
So dedicated, bro.
Which was very funny to me that his username was his son's name. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm Seb's dad. Like he's so proud.
That's
you know?
somebody that loves their child right there. And he was a great guy. And no disrespect to him as a battler, but in that stage of his VGC career,
Not many people
was-
could keep up with Behaney.
no,
Yeah.
to this day.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
dude's insane. I mean, the last season where he's like, "Hey, I'm full-time baseball, but I'm going to be playing," and he shows up and just cracks everybody every week and almost or goes undefeated, I believe. Like that impressed me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my run. I went serious. It mentally drained me so hard that I took a break the next season. I didn't play. I probably put 200, 300 hours of prep in that season.
Bro, it was insane watching from afar because I had prep with Behaney a couple of times. He asked me to help him prep, and at 1 o'clock I start yawning a lot, and I get
Mhm.
burnt out pretty easily after the 4 hour mark. 3 to 4 hours is usually my attention span for like, let's dive
Yeah.
into this. After the 3 to 4 hour mark, I'm like tapping out usually, and I'm starting to be like, all right, let me get some rest for tomorrow. I'll come back, let me sleep on it. I'll think about some things while I'm working or whatever. Behaney was like, "Oh, I want to keep grinding," and he would be grinding until like 2 or 3 a.m. And I remember I helped him
Easy.
one time. I
Yeah.
pushed through
Easily.
that mental wall, and I was like, "Bro, I can't do this all the time. I can't. Like, I don't know
Yeah,
how
we
you
did
do
that.
that."
We did that all the time, bro. And I remember one
Yeah,
time we prepped till 4 a.m. and then I got up at 7 a.m. with Jagger, and we prepped at 9 a.m. because he was up, I was up, so we prepped. Like
bro.
we had prepped till 4 a.m. So, but that's I saw the key to success right there. It's like
What you put
it
in,
is, yeah, you put the work in and you're gonna win.
and especially a format where there's only 11 Pokemon that could stop your combination.
Yeah,
If you build a really well-rounded team, it's like
yeah,
it really is impressive to see what you did that season, man. After having an underwhelming season the season before, so
I
like,
appreciate it. Yeah, I went from 2 wins to 12 in a season. I felt so good about that, and the champion. It's not like I just kind of hit the playoffs and then fell out, and I've never missed the playoffs since then, actually. So I feel good about that too. Even in the BDSP league, I squeaked into the playoffs with a 5-4, or well, not 5-4. What was it, 4-3 record or something like that? Maybe 3-3, and then I won the first playoff round and went yeah, I think I went 4-4 overall because I'll also beat Honey in the playoffs. I almost beat him in that game, but he's just so good. He is so good. It came down to the last Pokemon, and that's what I love about our sets. Even if he beats me most of the time, I think he's 3-1 versus me. But the last few sets we played, the first one we played in BDSP, he had some heal stuff, and he did very well against me and 2-0'd me. But the last one came down to the last Pokemon. I thought, getting closer.
bro, like that's a really really cool story, and I hope it inspires people the way it inspires me to try to get better too. And like,
I hope so.
bro, seeing you do that, it's like it's really impressive, and I can't state that enough. And that's why I'm so excited to see how you do in Orlando. Like, I
I,
cannot wait because I
I'm
know
ready,
you're
man.
putting in the work. I know you're putting in the work.
Yeah, I'm putting in work. I get off here, I'll be on Showdown, just grinding away. I think I have a team figured out what I'm going to bring, but even if I don't, I mean, I have the time, and I'm getting to the point. I know it's scary now because I'm getting to the point like, all right, what terror are they? Any surprise moves? That's standard, standard, standard. Oh, okay, this has icy wind, standard, standard. That's where I'm starting to get to that point. That's how my open team sheet checks are. Like, what terror, 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 what terror, what terror, standard. All right, any surprise moves? Well, these are all standard. Let's go with it.
Have you only been doing showdown, or have you been doing best of three in small groups?
Just Showdown with work and stuff, and then I don't really reach out like I should. I need to be doing best of threes. Best of
I'm
threes are a lot better.
No, I want to do
I've
some
just been
best
on
of
Showdown.
threes with you this next upcoming. Last week I worked like 57 hours. I had a root canal and I was in San Diego Monday, and I landed at like 7 p.m. So last week was like a crazy fucking week for me.
Yeah,
I'm back to prepping. Like next week I'll be prepping after 7 p.m. every night. So
yeah,
like
yeah.
Monday, not Tuesday because I host a tournament. So like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week I'm down to do some best of threes with you too. If
Yeah, I'd
you're
like
off
to test
around
this
like
team.
this time, yeah.
I'd like to test this team that I'm playing out, see if it's good in best of three. And best of one, it's been pretty amazing.
So then we'll do some best of three tests, and I'll get some bad matchups for you because I want to grind some matchups into your team because I'm not as confident right now. So trying out a bunch of different teams usually helps me
Yeah,
figure out what I want to do more too. But yeah, man, we're already at the 50-minute mark. So like I told you, these
yeah, man.
conversations
Time
fly
flies,
by
man.
when you're,
I mean, me and you get together, we could probably talk all night. That's the worst part about us.
Exactly. So is there anything else that we really didn't touch on that you want to mention? I know actually Call of Duty we didn't really mention just quickly into how you got into Overwatch. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Call of Duty. I mean, it's funny. It is funny. So I got my PlayStation 3 at the job and at home. Um, and it got to the point to where I was playing like I'd work weird like 7 to 1 or usually 1 to 7, and at Lowe's Foods. And so I'd play the rest of my free time. I'll never forget it. I was skinny, played football, I was in shape because I was coming out senior year, and that they came out with that new those new flavor Doritos. I can't remember what they were, but it was back then. It was just Cool Ranch and regular Doritos, and this was like I forget the flavor, but it was a new flavor Dorito came out.
Was
And
it like hot?
when they did the huh?
Was it a hot, spicy flavor?
I don't remember, bro. I can't remember, which is sad. But I know it was just it was new, it was different. And then there was the Mountain Dew that came out with the lime wire or whatever. And then they started doing the vote for your favorite flavor with the three, and you got whatever sold the most. You know, it'd be full time. And so the new flavors and Baja was in that. Baja Blast was in that. I'm pretty sure it's like Baja. I think maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know. I know Voltage. I think was in it. Code Red. Like you know, you got to think back. This was it was just Mountain Dew. There was like not.
Not
It's
all
crazy
the
to say
different
that.
flavors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy to say that, but so I'd buy Doritos and Mountain Dew and just go home and play Call of Duty, which I know lame or whatever, but and it got to the point where my mom was playing so much of my Call of Duty. My mom and dad got into it. They're gamers. That's how I'm a gamer. They're gamers. They got all the SNES and all that in N64. When we grew up, they had that stuff, but none of the like PlayStation stuff. But they like Nintendo stuff. And family night, we mom cooked dinner. We played Mario Kart against each other, and dad's super competitive. Always wanted to beat him. And anyway, I had to hide my controllers, bro, because they would be on my
Bro.
PlayStation playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
You have
But
to hide your
I got so
controllers.
addicted to that, I just went to you know local like I had a little tournament thing. Got into that. That's kind of where my competitive took off. It started in Pokemon Platinum, though. That's the
Dude.
first competitive game I ever played.
Oh, that's fucking awesome though. And
Appreciate it, bro.
yeah, so tell everyone Professor Koji on Twitch. Are there any
Yeah,
other socials?
PROF.
Yeah. I have your
Uh,
shirt. I should have wore your shirt for this. I'm freezing in
oh
my
no,
stream
you're
room.
good, bro. You're good.
It's actually in my
I
drawer right now too. I just
yeah, I
finished
stream on
loading.
Twitch, just Professor Koji. I do shiny hunting, BGC. I'll probably do some guides and stuff. So
Dude, I cannot wait for your guides. Check out the YouTube channel too, right? Because you're posting on YouTube now too, or
yeah, yeah. I've had two videos in the works. I did so they're shiny hunts right now, but with my brain, we did the pretty much like learned a huge lesson on my first video with not scatterbug tarantula. It took me 2,795 encounters, which was 5 streams of an hour and a half streams each time.
bro.
I can't. I had to cut down. What is that? An hour and a half. That's 4 hour. What? 7.5 hours of footage. I had to cut down to like we have 30 minutes, which is way too big for a YouTube video. So my first video was like live and learn. It's hilarious though, dude. It is so hilarious. There's some funny moments in there, and Death Chalk killed it with the edits, and it's gonna be great. So I told Death Chalk, I was like, look, man, we can't do this crap again. I have to figure this out. This isn't gonna work. So now I'm gonna do the Yerba shinies because they're quicker. I have a shorter block. I can stream now. I only stream an hour and a half now. So and then I got to thinking, I'm like, dude, I love VGC. I'm so into VGC. Why not stream in the morning, do shiny hunts in the morning? Because I can't figure out which one I want to do, VGC or shiny hunt. Obviously I'm going to compete in VGC in real life, but like in the tournaments and stuff. But I was like, why not vibe in the morning? Try to get a different audience in the morning with your shiny hunts. That's just the vibe. It's the morning time, and then at nighttime do your VGC content. And I was like, boom, there it
Boom.
is. So I figured that out this week. I actually figured it out yesterday, and I did, man. I'm telling you, I'm always thinking. I'm always trying to be better. So I'm gonna do morning streams with shiny hunts and night streams or VGC, and then recordings when I have free time. Like tomorrow, I have some free time. I'm gonna record a guide. Was probably maybe I'm gonna record a guide on one of the top picked paradox mons, and then I'm gonna rate the paradox mons and you know where I think they are in a tier list competitive.
I
What's their
cannot
strengths
wait
and
to watch
weaknesses?
that.
Kind of go over them a little bit.
Dude, put that out as soon as possible and send
I
me the
will,
link
bro.
when you
I'll
do.
send it to you, bro.
Because yeah, no, I love watching those videos while I'm driving to work. When I'm like I'm driving home from work, I put on the VGC like I can't watch battles all the time, but I'll put them
Yeah.
on when I can. And it's like watching those guides is something that I really want. I was looking for something like that. So hearing you make it too with your smooth voice too, I can't wait. I can't fucking wait.
No, you don't butter me up.
Absolutely butter you up. You just did an hour podcast with me, which I appreciate greatly. So thank you for coming
Hey,
on, man.
I appreciate you.
Oh, absolutely. It goes both ways. And yeah, I can't wait to meet you in Orlando. This is going to come out in not 1, 2, 3, 4 Mondays. So February 13th, it looks like the release date. I'm just backlogging them so I can focus on VGC before the tournaments. Yeah.
I see what you're doing. Get this smooth voice the day before Valentine's Day. Hey,
I didn't even think of that. That's awesome.
I see what you're doing.
That's
you're gonna butter them up, put it out, boom, we got a banger, baby.
Ah, baby's being born 9 months later.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Might need to hold off a day or two on this video. Just saying. So shout out Quaxley, Coco and Sprigatito in the back, by the way. Shout out Tom for having me on. Beautiful soul, past Pokemon, just a great dude. You'll never meet. Promise you, I put $1 million on you. Never meet another guy like Tom. So I wanted to say that on the video. That I respect you and I appreciate you. Meeting you is going to be a true life blessing. And thanks for everything, Tom.
Seriously. Yeah, dude, I'm blessed to have you in my life, man. And I don't think there's any better way to end it than here. So thank you all for listening if you listened this far, and I'll see you next time.